Hey guys, Chris from the Tiger's Den. I just kind of wanted to have a relaxing conversation where I try not to get too heated. So, I'm down here in the den, minding my business, watching my YouTubes. Lo and behold, PlayerEssence, OJ, a dude who I respect a ton, uploads a video pretty much saying there's no way you could be more excited over the Final Fantasy VII Remake versus Xenoblade Chronicles or Trials of Mana. So, I'm already getting heated. Let's get to why this is effed up. Okay, so maybe you're one of those people that genuinely believes that Xenoblade Chronicles is an amazing series. You don't think it sucks. Looking at you, Wood. You don't think it sucks. You think it's amazing. And that's great. Listen, I am a huge fan of Star Ocean as a series. Not the newer ones. I actually think that the First Departure and Second Star Story are the better ones. But I'm a huge fan of that series. Now, if you told me tomorrow that Star Ocean 2, what I would rate as one of the best JRPGs of all time, was getting remade, and it was going up in the same year likely that Final Fantasy VII's remake part 1 or 2 or 7 were getting put up, I still wouldn't be able to take the position of you should be more hyped for Star Ocean, a Second Star Story, despite my own bias. And here's why. Okay, so let's be real about what Final Fantasy VII meant for the RPG genre, not just the Final Fantasy VII series. First off, it blew up the PlayStation 1 console. This was like one of the first 3D generation role-playing games, and the depth of the systems in the game between the materia, the Chocobo breeding or Chocobo breeding, everything in this game screamed quality. Yeah, I know the blocky characters do not age well, and we can all jump on board that. They did not age well, and that's okay. That's why the game is being fully remade, because turn-based is not an exceptionally popular, mind-blowing system anymore for combat. But let's not take away from the fact that Xenoblade as a series for the JRPG genre means nothing. Nothing. The series means nothing. It has loyal fans. It is a quality series, and Monolith Soft is a phenomenal game developer. I'm not taking that away. But it's like comparing Xenogears and Final Fantasy, or really any of them, even the garbage Final Fantasy 8 and 9. It's like comparing them. It means nothing to them. One series has continued to innovate, continued to survive, and has essentially been the brand that is Square. Okay? The other series is a drop in the bucket, and that's what Xenoblade is. Yeah, okay, so people like OJ, they're gonna get hyped for it. They love Xenoblade. I'm not gonna get into whether Xenoblade 2 was good or bad or whatever, but I will say, to compare any Xenoblade game to even the worst Final Fantasy games is just asinine. Because one series means everything to the genre, and one series means nothing. And then to get into Trials of Mana, one of the first role-playing games I played growing up was Secret of Mana. A phenomenal experience. I actually played through with my grandma. And I remember the series so well when it started to release more games, to PlayStation and whatnot. But even that remake, I watched his video and he's like, 60 plus hours of a single part of Final Fantasy is just, to compare that to Trials of Mana, I about fell out of my game chair. Because Trials of Mana is not a long game. It is not a game with an insane amount of content. But this is from the same person who, again, as much as I love OJ, tried saying Final Fantasy 8 and 9 have more content than 7, which is also asinine. Just have you played the 3 of them? Like, rushing through... I have a buddy who says Final Fantasy VII takes it maybe 40 to 50 hours to play through, and that's if he's stretching it. And that just blows my mind, because he's on his, like, 13th playthrough. So it's like, yeah, if you're blinding through all the conversations and running point to point, I'm sure the game does take that long. It's still one of the longest roll, but it's 2 full discs. I'm not going to get into the ridiculous 3rd disc being just the Sephiroth fight, really. But that's... regardless, that's besides the point. So, I want to get to my last point, and this is the most important thing. And that's that, again, it's fine to say that you love Xenoblade Chronicles, because everyone should give it a chance, and most people, I think, when they do, will like it. But to compare the excitement over a ridiculous Wii U game that did nothing for the genre, as opposed to the excitement for the remaster of a game that literally defined the genre, is dumb. And you know what else? A big part of the argument is, can you be excited for something that's incomplete? You goddamn right I can. Because in a series, in a trilogy of games, for everyone that's like, oh, Astral Chain, it's gonna lead to more Astral Chains, wah. Let's say it does. Should that mean that you weren't allowed to be as excited for Astral Chain because Astral Chain 2 was coming and that's part of the experience? Asinine. It's a dumb, dumb talking point. Just because Final Fantasy VII's Remake is one part of a larger story, and they've said that it's, 60 hours and it's Midgard. First off, the director of the game's already talked about how it's expanded all the stuff that we didn't see in Final Fantasy VII, but that was gone over in future things, like art books and stories and comments of his. The relationship between, Cloud and both main women of the game. The fact that characters like Yuffie are not optional anymore. Vincent is not optional anymore. Okay. If you were to tell me that, Chris, what's your excitement level? Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 is coming March of next year, and it's Part 1 of blank, because we don't know yet. Let's address that. Why don't they know how long it's going to be? Well, that's simple. Development on this game has restarted like 6 times, okay? That's why we didn't get a playable demo for like the first, 3 or 4 E3s after the damn thing was announced. It's restarted. So to say, oh, this game's been in development for 10 years, you dumb. It hasn't been in development for 10 years. It's been in development for like, 2, 3 actual years since they actually started doing this. So let's not play off like this version of the game has been worked on for 10 years, because that's basic. Secondly, if you look at the original teaser, the art has been morphed. Look at the differences between Cloud then and Cloud now. Look at the gameplay that they were showing versus the gameplay they're showing now. It's radically different. I don't recall the materia system being talked about or integrated into the weaponry in the first teasers, do you? Because it wasn't there. So yes, this is, from the ground up, a freaking remake of an iconic, genre-defining game. I will get hyped for that at $60 and the next 8 installments of it. Not because Final Fantasy VII is the best Final Fantasy, it's not, but because I love the fact that Square knows their fans well enough to know that not only will they buy it and eat it up, but they want it. And we do. So yes, I will get more hyped for that than a $60, not remake, stop calling it that, because it's just an HD remaster, a prettier version of a meh game that was on the Wii U. Hard pass. Trials of Mana, though, on the other hand, I'm very hyped to play that, and I will pay the $60 to play that. But I am not more hyped for that than I would be, say, that same kind of treatment given to The Secret of Mana, or The Secret of Evermore, or a million other JRPGs. So in closing, I just want to say that after the Nintendo Direct revealed that Xenoblade was being remastered, and that was what we were supposed to get excited for, this hubbub on the internet of, oh, we have to be more excited for that than Final Fantasy VII. It's just dumb. It's just wrong. It's not true. Final Fantasy VII, much better than Xenoblade.